Every project begins with an idea, words, a description we can visualize, and a place we can come back to when we lose our way. We mull over these words and begin to visualize through the thumbnail process, searching for the right balance of shapes and arrangement thoughtfully placed to generate a strong and clear focal point. We might feel we have a good idea of what to do, but we cannot truly confirm our thoughts are clear until we can finally see tangible proof of those thoughts on paper, traditional or digital. It's here where we can see the idea for the first time that we can scrutinize, edit, cull, where we can hone in on a solid idea and strong design for just the right moment. The idea can then be broken down further into smaller, important stages of exploration, like sharpening the design, finding a color plan, honing in on the focus and intent, building on the story elements, doing character studies. With all this preparation, the confidence is high to tackle the finish. The final steps will have technical difficulties to overcome, regardless of the medium or software used. Tackling these hurdles arms you with information not just for solving the current piece, but a potential set of tools for future problems that need similar end results. Step by step, the piece is assembled. With the previous stages solved and all the thumbnails and preliminary sketches we did, the only thing left is to focus on the execution, the energy, and performance in our actors, whoever or whatever they may be. I know this is an abbreviated version of how to make something as an artist. Regardless of your art form, we all go through the same steps to achieve a strong, successful finish. These steps are founded on tools we develop in our studies. We use this foundation regardless of which art form we choose to follow through with in our career. Level Up is made to break down what an artist needs to solve artistic problems, whether they be any of the following. They are all solved in the same basic way. This ongoing series will break the ice with the information of what skills would be necessary to solve many of these problems with each episode, and follow-up information and lessons can be found through my Gumroad video lessons on ronlemon.gumroad.com or the website lemonade.com. You don't need rulers to draw straight lines. You can draw a straight line without a ruler the closer you hold the pencil to the point. And slam those fingertips into the page for this, as they act as a brake to slow your fingers and with precision control better guide the movement. Inversely, the farther back you hold the drawing implement, newer is better. The more organic the lines will be, and they are easier to remove from the surface. I'll cover the artist brief, or the words we work from, in another episode, as this brief motivates the brain to cycle through thoughts and manifest into creative ideas, which we get out in the thumbnail format. Thumbnails should be drawn small, much like the thumbnails we scroll through on a phone. Thumbnails need not be big for us to recognize the important information. Drawn small, the thumbnail represents the finish, seen from far away. If it's clear, it should still hold up at any scale. Thumbnails do not need to be drawn any specific way. Here is the same image started with 3 different starting motivations: loose, tonal or geometric, and real-world object-related, or kind of detail-like to begin with. Here are 5 reasons why thumbnails are so important. Number 1, they show us what we're thinking. I mentioned this at the beginning of this video. We think we have an idea, but until we can see it, it's not really clear. Number 2, once out there, the thumbnail is there to help us organize the pictorial statement. Pictures are visual sentences, and at this stage, we're organizing a clear sentence structure for the picture to make sense. Number 3, the design matrix is easier to see and easier to organize. When we work on the finish, we don't see the graphic design as much as we focus on the details that make up the subject matter. The design is best solved before we focus on those particular details. Number 4, depth of field, or the Z-space, is defined. Knowing how the deep space in a piece is defined helps with where to focus the most effort on surfaces and details versus where to put emphasis on design shapes and grouping value forms together. Number 5, Most importantly, at this scale, we can control the target focus and label the design devices we will be using to do the same in the final image. Some of us would like to jump right into solving the finish, but like any musical group, it's entertainment suicide to jump on stage and play a set completely new, never rehearsed, never organized before the performance. The same goes for us when we build any picture. We need to pre-plan and practice before we execute the almighty final performance. Veiling is another form of shading an image or filling in a space with tone. It is done by a swirling motion or spiraling motion. This spiraling motion prevents any lines from developing, preventing any design or eye flow influence from happening in a hatching or cross-hatching way. Start large to generalize the fill, and scale down the spiraling to fill in the spaces between the strokes. This can also be done with any level of pressure. It's a great method for starting the base notan or flat filled values of an image. There is a pathway of logic to learning the visual arts. It gets lost in schools that are sponsored by today's software and isn't as sexy a sell as, you can be a Pixar animator in 10 easy steps, but far more important. Take a screenshot of this, study it a bit, and look forward to further dissecting these charts in future episodes. The drawings you've seen in this video are all part of a much bigger project I'm working on. Throughout the episodes of this show, I will be using this project as a vehicle to demonstrate the various art forms and their foundation principles. In a way, you're also getting some world building, creation, and incentive in addition to your foundation education. You'll see digital design, painting, modeling, animating, traditional drawing, design, comics, painting in every medium, inking, animating, and more. A one-stop shop of artful information for every type of artist. These are very interesting times in the arts, trickier waters to navigate for sure, but they'll never die or go away, and artists will always be a necessity. With some skill building and a new view of your craft, you'll be armed and confident with whatever the universe throws at you. I can't wait to share these new views and hope they reshape your creative motivations and push you more than ever before. I'm looking forward to this project, this show, and I hope you find some of that lost information, new information, or a new way of reconnecting with your old art education and foundation. Oh, and here's a snippet of what I was working on in all those clips. Thank you again, and I'll see you soon.